Hi guys, this is The Ordinary Man, Step by Step, episode 39. For anybody who hasn't tuned in before, my name is Tommy Courtney. What I'm doing is I'm documenting the process of what I'm doing to try and convert an idea that I had into a successful business. So that's the general gist of it. The business itself is called Property Base Camp. What we do is we connect relocating employees with readily available property lettings in one human-centered experience. That's the gist of what we do. What have we been up to? It has been a couple of weeks since I've done a podcast. I'd like to say it's because I've been busy, which we have, but it's not. It's not that. I just have let it slip, just with other things going on, and the podcast didn't really get the attention that I suppose it deserved. So what I'm doing is, it's first thing in the morning. I've got a meeting this morning with a former colleague, sitting in the car, so I thought I'd get another podcast up and running, give me a bit of a kick up the hole. So what's been going on? So the last couple of weeks, I suppose we've finished up with the Accelerator Program in the NDRC. It looks like that we're not going to go ahead with their Accelerator Program. Going to keep in contact with a couple of the guys in there. In particular, had a mentor, Alan Costco, was very, very helpful to me. So going to stay in contact with him, just to bounce a couple of ideas off him and just lean on his experience. Meeting him, I think, next week. So that was grand. The overall, it was a good experience. Highly recommended for anybody who hasn't who I suppose hasn't got a business background or hasn't been involved in developing products before, and obviously people who are first time entrepreneurs, first time founders, just to get a couple of tools that'll help you, I suppose, navigate the steps of what you should be doing, focusing on business model canvas, validating your assumptions, doing your customer discovery processes. So we have, I suppose, a lot of experience in that. But those who don't, I think it would be great for you to attend, not just the NDRC Pre-Accelerator, but there are a couple of other accelerator programs out there as well. So at the minute, our focus has just been plainly again on our customer base and growing our customer base. We're working on lots and lots of little bits and pieces. We're working very closely with one of the largest property agencies in the country. They included us as part of their pitch to obtain the management rights of the largest build to rent development in the country, and they've managed to secure that. So that effectively means that we've got exclusive access to a huge amount of state-of-the-art brand new apartments that are coming to the market in February. So we met last week to discuss that, or was that this week? That was this week, I think. It was Monday, to discuss that, just to figure out what our requirements are, what their requirements are. We're going to chat about the marketing approach for both companies. We've got lots of really, really good ideas of what we think, how they can market it and how we can market our relationship with them and the access that we're getting to these properties. And as per normal, we're really going to be focusing on the people themselves that will be living in them and the experience that we can provide them with, and I guess the overall living experience, and the ability to meet new people. So that's really exciting. That's a huge win for us. There just for anybody that's in the property market here in Dublin, there's just no new rental properties. It's crazy. It's a really, really tough market. But again, I'm really proud of the progress that we've made in this market, because there's not too many more chronic property markets in the world that are worse than Dublin at the minute. So really, really proud of that, and really, really looking forward to the future. We will be doing a marketing announcement and a press release around this new development that's coming to the market in February. That may or may not be before the end of the year. I hope it is, because January, first couple of weeks in January will be quiet whenever people are trying to get back to work and back up to the speed of things. So that's brilliant. We have had some issues with, in particular, one other property agency that we're working with, and we're going to have discussions again with them. To be honest, we've had multiple discussions, and I'm not going to try to sell this to the unsellable. If they're not interested, they're not interested. We'll not be spending any time losing sleep over it. But it will be an aim of mine in the long run to get them back on board. So it's not all rosy. I suppose there is difficulties that pop up every single day. So that's just one of them. What else? Two other major things. One is we are in discussions with PiLabs. PiLabs are an accelerator in the UK, London-based prop tech specific accelerator program. We had a call with them last week around the work that we're doing, and we actually have another follow-up call with their investment manager today. And they're running a program from February, a 15-week program. It could be a really good way for us to get into the London market, particularly the London market. We're still analysing, which I haven't spent a huge amount of time on the last couple of weeks, but the analysis of Manchester and London as prospective new homes for Property Base Camp. So again, I'll be listening to them today. I want to know exactly what they can do for us, more so than being in the line of fire for question after question. I've always, these accelerator programs and giving some of your company away, there is pros and cons to both. I've always said that I want to do it for the right reasons, and predominantly the main reason being is I thought we can do a lot ourselves in the Irish market, which we have done. Where we would need that help is if we go to international markets such as your Londons or your Manchesters or your New Yorks. So anybody that we want to work with, I want to make sure they have them connections. They're well connected in the international markets, and we're not just going to give away part of the company for the sake of getting investment, because I'll go on another rant about this another time, but I think that a lot of the system's broken in startup world and people are just focused on investment and not on building a business. And when the market shits itself, all that investment money is going to dry up, and you need to be actually making money if you want to survive that crash. So anyway, that's for a different day. So I'll be listening to them today. Then I think I'm going to meet them on Tuesday. I fly over. I've got a couple of meetings in London on Tuesday anyway. This is hopefully going to coincide really well with that. What else? We've expanded our services to Cork as well. We have been looking at regional towns here in Ireland, because of, well, for a couple of reasons, I suppose. A little bit of the demand that's being asked of us from prospective clients and current clients that we have. They want help in regional cities and regional towns in Ireland. There's more to Ireland than just Dublin. So we have rolled that out. We probably will do some sort of formal announcement as well on that in the press over the next couple of weeks. But that's really exciting too. Team's growing as well. We brought on a videographer. Again, I'm very focused on ourselves being a media company. Anybody who follows Gary Vee, he would be talking about that, about being a media company first, and then being a company that what your actual services provide or your product provides. I've always been really big on this, because it's only getting more and more important. There's so much attention out there. Everybody's trying to vie for attention. It's it can be pretty grueling actually looking through news feeds and seeing everybody trying to stand out for different ways. So the most important thing for new businesses is going to be the creative side of how can they tell their story of what they're doing and the value that they're providing their customers and clients in a creative way. And I've always thought that, and we're going to start to ramp that up a little bit. We've done bits and pieces around selfie videos with our customers in their new homes, and little bits and pieces about marketing of properties that we have, properties of the day. But we really want to focus, as we've always said, on the people rather than properties. So we'll be really, I suppose, doubling down on that. We've brought on Ben, looks to be hugely talented. Seeing some of his work, got a referral from a guy I'm connected with, Killian, on LinkedIn. Met him, really nice guy. I think he'd fit in really well with us, and he wants additional experience. So we've got lots of plans. Meeting this evening with him again to he's going to be starting in the new year, but meeting again to flush out little bits and pieces. So that's very exciting. We will hopefully be looking to bring on another admin / relocation assistant in the new year also, especially when we're growing to regional towns and regional cities such as Cork. So that'll be really good. We've got a Christmas party on the 15th of December. Really looking forward to it again, just to chill out with the guys and yeah, just to I suppose think about what we've done so far this year and our plans into the new year, and just to relax and have a bit of crack. So that's that for next week too. And again, I guess the main focus for us immediately is trying to build up relationships again with the bigger organisations. The companies are doing a lot of hiring, particularly in the South Dublin area, where the development that I spoke about earlier in the podcast, that's where it's located. We have got connections in some of the bigger companies. We've been holding off, I suppose, trying to get into the room with them until now because we have no properties. I say no properties, we have a really small amount of properties. I think Savills actually brought out a report this week or last week, I think it was, just again outlining the chronic shortages of rental properties that currently exist in the Irish market. Also, because of these shortages, again, a lot of our client base are people who are coming in from South America or Asia or the States. They're either travelling by themselves or with a partner possibly. A lot of middle management, senior management people, still relatively young, I'm going to generalise here, but late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, who are open to travel, and they're all looking for 1-bed or 2-bed apartments. Now, 12 months ago, they would have got probably one beds or 2-bed apartments for, I'll say, a reasonable, in inverted commas, a reasonable price. Nowadays, especially one beds, they don't actually exist, so they're not going to get them. So what have we've had to respond to the market conditions. It's something that we've been thinking about doing for a while, and we have launched our CoLiving Experience. So what there is still plenty of in the Irish market is large family homes. We want to reutilise these family homes for the rental market, and particularly for young professionals. Again, I think this could work really well, because, as I said, a lot of these people are coming into the country by themselves or might not know too many people, and they do want to live. The feedback that we've got from them now as well is they do want to get a bit of experience of living with people and making friends and being in a community, and we can actually help do this in a very, I suppose, simple and straightforward way with our co-living experiences. Now, I suppose some people, whenever they're thinking of co-living experiences, they're thinking of dorms and throwing 10, 15, 20 people into a house and sharing one bathroom. That's not what we're about. the properties. So we have started to engage with property agents and property owners on this who are interested in providing this, because as well it's not as easy for them to shift a property that's 4 or 5 grand a month to a family, because there's only a really small amount of families or high level executives that can afford that rent effectively. So they're open to the potential of professionals also effectively renting a room or renting a suite in the properties. Any property that we're going to be doing with, I'm going to personally go and vet. We're also focused really on aiming for the same amount of bedrooms to bathroom ratio within the properties. I think it's very, very important, especially initially until consumers in Ireland get experience of co-living, is giving them their own personal and private space and their own bathroom facilities as well, and then having the shared amenities and shared facilities like the kitchens and living rooms and snugs and potentially work from home offices and games rooms. So we have got a property now at the minute that does offer that, and that's what we're really going to be focusing on. You won't see us with a 5-bed property with 1 bathroom. That's just not the experience that we want to provide. We do want to provide a really unique experience and a positive experience, and we can flip what is a really chronic issue. People have bad experiences all over the place with estate agents, with property owners, with landlords, and put a good flip on that and put a good experience on that, and with co-living. So that's another thing that we're launching. We've softly launched that. We're still learning an awful lot. We're gathering an awful lot of information. We actually have we're calling them property-based camp hubs, HUB. We've actually got one live now at the minute in Stillorgan, and we've got a lot of interest from it. I suppose interestingly about this property that we're using is there's 1 ensuite bedroom. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but there's 1 ensuite bedroom, and then there's 2 double bedrooms that have their own bathrooms, but they're not ensuite. So we ask our potential tenants which room they'd like, and I'd say 95% of them are willing to spend the extra money to get the room with the ensuite. So again, that's really I suppose good learnings for us moving forward. But we know that the properties that we want to bring on board with property-based camp as co-living, we want to make sure that they're ensuite. So again, little bits and pieces that we're going to continue to chip away at. We're very much looking at this as a marathon, not a sprint. Probably a couple of months ago, it might look like that I might actually go and do a little bit of consulting to keep things ticking over and make sure that we're getting good money through the company. But we've been just so busy, and we're getting more and more business, haven't had the ability to do that. So it's all good. They're all little bits and pieces that we're working on, and really going to push hard now for the next 2 weeks to try and get as much done before Christmas as possible. People will not want to be talking to or even think about new business whenever they come back from New Year's. So we really want to get as much done now as we possibly can. So that's pretty much it. Couple of meetings lined up for today, and that's really it, I suppose. I'm trying to think of something else, but I haven't really got anything else. So as always, love to get your feedback. Positive, negative, whatever you think. Again, this is just something that I want to continue to do, just to look back on this, I suppose, in the future of things that I've done to try and move the business forward, and again, just documenting of what I'm doing to try and move the business forward. Again, they may not be the right things. You might be listening to this going, why on earth is he doing that? But that's what we're doing. That's our approach. This is our strategy. We're going to make loads of mistakes. We're going to learn from them mistakes. The amount of mistakes that we've learned from already have been incredible, and it's really all really positive. So thanks again, guys. Take care and get liking and get sharing. And if you have any questions, get in touch. Thanks a million.